Good morning. I'm on Exmouth beachfront, approximately 25-minute drive from the centre of Exeter. I come here several times a week to do my morning run. What a gorgeous morning it is too. So talent is overrated. Let's conclude the three-part series. We'll go through what we discussed in part 1 and 2 and how we implement that into our day-to-day careers. I'll just drive back to the office and we'll go from there. See you in a bit. Good morning again. So I just got back from the beach. Fortunately only a 17-minute drive from Exmouth beachfront to our office, to our beach. Yeah, great location. What a great way to start the day. As I mentioned, we're here to talk about the final part to talent is overrated. Let's crack on. So firstly, it's not just about us and our journey, whether we want it bad enough or not. It's also about the environment we choose to do it in. If our employer isn't supportive of that journey, if they're not providing the right environment to take you there, it's just not worth it. You need to make sure that that is what they want as well. Communicate that first and foremost, get that right, and then off you go. Self-belief is critical to high performance. You really need to believe in the tasks you're about to implement are going to make you successful. If you don't believe in it 100%, it's probably not going to work. So we all know with everything we need to do, we need to have a plan, but not just a list of things to do. If you want to do things well, you need to set things exactly, not just vaguely. Set each task exactly with detailed chunks of what you need to do. Hopefully, if you do this in the right manner, the day will flow in an orderly fashion. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term metacognition, but that's basically a term used to evaluate one's thoughts or the way that we do things, our own thoughts on how we go about things. If you want to be micromanaged and the environment you're in is, that's the structure, the performance model is that you are micromanaged by a mentor, a manager, a coach, fine. If you're not and you don't want to be micromanaged, then you need to use metacognition. You need to, after every task or after every group of tasks, you need to really reflect on what went well and what didn't go so well, so you know the standard to set next time. So you've reflected throughout the day. What about evaluating at the end of the day? Now this all comes from having a detailed plan once again. If the plan's detailed enough, bite-sized chunks, it makes it so much easier to evaluate how you actually went. Don't forget you've reflected throughout the day, so you know how you went with certain tasks, what you did well, what you didn't do so well, but now it's time to look at it overall and then look at what sort of level of performance you've had and what level of performance you can set for the following day. This is probably why I suggest that you do your your planning session for the following day in the same session as your evaluation. So plan for the next day at the end of the day just gone. High performers are accountable for what went right and also what went wrong. They don't make excuses. They analyze themselves and they make sure that they perform at a greater level next time. Now it's all about setting outcomes as well, don't forget. Your high performance is typically measured on outcomes. So if you've achieved a certain level of outcomes today, you need to be setting a higher level of outcomes for the following day. So that's it basically. I mean, you know, there's a whole lot more that goes into it, but let's just talk about the employment environment. It's no good going down this path if your employer isn't on board. Now, typically, the best organisations want to hire the best. I know it sounds silly to say that, but not only do they want to hire the best, but they're committed to developing and training the best. Because they understand that high performers aren't happy just at the mediocre. They don't want to plateau. They want to continually strive for greatest level of success. So there needs to be an environment that provides that opportunity. You need to make sure that when you're wanting to take this journey to high performance, you choose the right environment. There's plenty of things that goes into an environment that's structured for high performance. Just a few though. Employers that want to push you to that extra level, they understand you've got to do extra tasks outside of your day-to-day duties. Don't be afraid of that. Okay, you're going to have to work longer hours occasionally, maybe, you know, for a little while, but you're doing things outside of your day-to-day duties so that you're actually deepening your knowledge base, you're broadening your skills without actually having to do a different job. That is so important at actually becoming a high performer, because don't forget, it gives you a bigger level of self-belief. Also,
employers that want to be the best, they recognise leaders early on in the piece. Now, why would organisations only promote people to leadership or identify leaders when they've had X amount of experience or qualifications? Sometimes age, heaven forbid. But why? Why can't they identify that in year 1, year 2, year 3 of someone's career? If they identify early enough, they will push people that they see as having those traits to that higher level on a daily basis. And therefore, by the time they move into a leadership position, it's a no-brainer. So it's all part of really being a high-performing culture, isn't it? So you need to make sure that everyone on board in that organisation or that team you're going to be working in is actually wanting to be a high performer or already is a high performer. You're only as strong as your weakest link. If you're wanting to push to higher levels of success and the people next to you aren't going to be promoting that, then you're going to be in trouble. So there you go. It's quite brief, I know, but hopefully there's a few things there that you can take from these vlog sessions. I certainly do believe through going through this process that there is a framework that you can take that will take you to the best you possibly can, regardless of whether you've got a certain aptitude or level of talent. Everyone can push to or strive to be the best they can. Don't let anyone tell you any different. But it is about the environment, and it's about whether you want it bad enough. So if you want it, go for it. Have a crack. I really hope that you do find success in everything you do. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.